It's upgrade season. Old and busted, new hotness. Old and busted, new hotness. Alright, welcome back today. Thank you for joining me again in the shop. This is one of the most critical tools to long range shooting, and that is a chronograph of some kind. So I finally decided to upgrade my chronograph situation. I've been using this MagnetoSpeed sporter for close to a decade now. It's this wand attachment thing here. Pretty simple setup. It's just got this little LED or little digital readout that you plug in, whatever. And it's actually worked really well. I've doped the information on this thing out to about 12 to 1300 yards ish. I've taken chronographic readings on my rifles with this system and then doped it out, and it's worked pretty well. It's been pretty accurate. So it's very simple. It's not a complicated setup. It just has this little simple box here, which I busted a long time ago. I busted the keepers on it, like because the battery's on the inside of this thing, and so I busted one of them off. So I had to duct tape it or rubber band it together for a few years now, but it still works. It's a very basic setup though. Like, you have a couple different spacers you can put on your barrel, and then the wand just rides underneath your barrel, and bullet travels along just above here, about 1/8 of an inch off or 1/4 of an inch off of the wand here, and the magnetic wizardry inside actually gives you your velocity and stuff like that. This is actually a really good chronograph compared to some of the older school style because it's not dependent on atmospheric conditions and stuff like that. I don't know if you're familiar with the older chronographs, the box with the big rabbit ears sticking up, and you gotta try to shoot down the middle of it and not shoot it itself, and it has to be a certain distance, and sun versus shade, humidity versus cold, and all those things will affect the velocity data that you get off of those chronographs. So they weren't super, they were good, and you can get pretty decent velocities, but you always had to check the dope. You always had to verify, trust but verify. So the wand attachment here with a magnetic kind of situation inside, I don't know how the science of it works, but that gives you a more accurate reading, not dependent on atmospheric conditions and stuff like that. And it's a little less bulky and less awkward than carrying around like one of those lab radar things. It looks like a phone book on toothpicks, you know what I mean? It's like this big obnoxious thing that can still be kind of affected by the weather and stuff like that, to my understanding. I've not ever used them before. Like, I've not ever owned one. I've used them of other people's at a range, but I've not owned one before. So I've been really pleased with the MagnetoSpeed. I got this from Brownells, I think, back in the day. I don't know how much they're costing now. I haven't actually looked at getting a new one recently. They have a more upgraded version of this that has more accessories and stuff like that, and it has the little widgets and attachments that you can use to like attach this to M-LOK and that kind of thing. Because one of the major drawbacks to the wand style chronograph is that you cannot, if you have it attached to your barrel, you cannot get both accuracy and velocity at the same time. You can only do one or the other. So you end up using about twice as much ammo to really dial a rifle in. Like, so checking loads for accuracy you have to do in one set, and then you have to attach your wand and do your velocity checks at the same time. So you end up doubling up, like having to make double as many loads to test any given powder charge, bullet, or whatever combination, because attaching this to your barrel actually affects accuracy and will give you a point of impact shift and maybe even an accuracy gain or loss. So it's really inconsistent trying to get accuracy data and velocity data at the same time with this thing. Now with the upgraded version, with like the widgets and whatnots and the things you can attach to M-LOK or to your rails or whatever, you can put them in all kinds of goofy positions. It's a little easier to do that. I would say that when you have like something like a suppressor on your rifle as well, it's still not that useful to use a wand like this. It actually doesn't work with suppressors. So that was one of the major drawbacks to this kind of system versus the new hotness. Oh, you want to see an unboxing video? Okay, here's the unboxing video. This is the box. It's in the box. It's not in the box anymore. It's out of the box, okay? But it's in like a secondary little box. So let's open that. All right, the Rangecraft, Athlon Rangecraft Pro. I looked at this one and the Garmin's 001, whatever they call it. This one I went with because it's less expensive. It was on sale for like $3.99, I believe, the other day when I got it. And the Garmin's are going for almost 700 now, or close to it. So that's kind of stupid, but okay, anyway, let's break this bad boy out. This is a very simple little thing. Okay, nice, there, it's unboxed. The difference between this, something like this, versus the whatchamagidget here I have on the table, is this type of thing, and comparing to the lab radar, it's a little more efficient. Obviously, it's a lot less bulky than some of the other stuff out there, but you can just set it next to your rifle while you're testing your accuracy. So you're always getting load data, no matter what. You're always getting velocity and all those good things with every shot in every load, and it will cut your reloading time and cut your testing time in half. At least that's my theory, and I think it should work pretty good. This is, I mean, this is it. This is as complicated as the setup is. It's just this right here, and I'm gonna hit the power button and see what happens. Hit the power button, it came on. So that's a good start. It's right out of the box. So okay, to continue. Quick start session, new session, previous session. So settings. Oh, let's go into settings and see what happens. Display color. No, let's not do that. Let's do gray. Pretty simple. All right, so pretty simple setup overall. I mean, this is it. We've got USB. I think it's got an internal battery, so you got your USB cord for plugging in there, and then you got your instructions and an Allen wrench for. Oh, so you can take this little screw out of there at the bottom, and I'm assuming you can attach it to like a tripod, you know, head mount for a camera or something like that. So it's handy, a nice little handy sturdy case to carry it in, protect your stuff, and warranty stuff. So hopefully this setup right here, the new hotness here, once I figure out how to use it, will actually save us a good bit of time on the range so far as just reloading and shooting. I can get all my data all at once, and I don't think it has to be, you know, like, I'm sure there's instructions on how to use it, so I'm gonna go ahead and read those, get into it, and let's just start testing this thing out. I mean, honestly, there's not really much to talk about here, and you know, doing reviews and unboxing videos are boring as crap, so let's just start shooting some stuff past this thing, see what happens. All right, it's not exactly the most scientific method here, but let's just see if we can get a reading. It says the readings are from 65 pounds to 5,244. Wow. 246. 244.4. Wow, that's cool, man. All right, well, at least we know it'll pick up an arrow. Summary. All right, so I had to delete the one bad shot. There was one bad shot. I don't know what the reading was about, but it bumped it up to like 368 feet per second, which is the average for this bow is 245, which is about right where I'm at, 246.2. So seems to be pretty accurate. I don't know what to attribute that one fluke shot to, but let's carry on with. We're going to use my actual hunting arrows. So I hunt with two different types, so let's test them both out. See where we're at. I don't even know how much memory this thing has, so let's make sure we're pointing in the right direction here. 242. Okay, sweet. So they're both seem to be pretty close in speed. 242. Wow, this thing's pretty consistent. Okay. Well, look at that. Looks like we have got some pretty accurate data going on here, and this is based off of my experience with this bow to begin with. And I think, yeah, it looks like it'll save multiple archery sessions. That's really cool. Okay, that's good to know. It's good stuff so far. Okay, we had a slight change of plans. My old stomping grounds have some cows in them, so we're at a different spot. And let's just see how it goes. $29.24. That is surprising. $902. something a little different. I use suppressed with a load I haven't tested out here yet. Sweet. Okay, and for posterity's sake, we're gonna do something a little different. Just to test it out and see where we're at. Almost hit a 200-yard target with this thing. Oh, got it that time. Almost got it. Starting to heat up. Alright, last one, and this is just for curiosity's sake. I'm probably never going to use this powder again, but... Last one again. Alright, zoom in here with me while we wrap this up and summarize. Went out to the range, everything looked to be pretty good there. I mean, it makes it so easy to get your velocities and stuff like that. This thing is basically like the easy button when it comes to getting velocities on multiple things. I mean, I laid down the velocity on 8 different loads and 3 different weapons in 15 minutes or less, and spent half the ammo doing that as I normally would. Like I said before, I have to usually go and shoot my group testing loads and then take the wand and put that on my rifle and shoot my velocity testing loads. So this thing is actually really intuitive. It cuts down on the time in reloading and ammo expenditure needed and stuff like that. Very intuitive layout of the buttons. You have your power button, you have your return button, so that takes you back to this previous screen. Options for deleting and moving down through menus, and hit OK, and then you have your up and down buttons on the side. This is a very simple device. It's lightweight, but it feels pretty sturdy and rugged. The base for it here, this is actually twice the weight of what this is. So this is a nice sturdy little tripod base that you get with this thing. And I noticed, while I was on the table shooting, I didn't get any bouncing around or anything like that. Like once I set it down, life was good. It stayed where it was supposed to stay. The option menu here for quick start, new session, previous session, and settings is pretty easy to get through. You just navigate and hit OK. Previous sessions I'm going to look at here. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total sessions on this thing so far, and I've actually erased one, so I had 9 sessions. But this is a beautiful setup here because you can do multiple rifles at a time, and you're not having to go back and crunch and write down all the data immediately. You can just kind of annotate which session was for what load or whatever real quickly, and then go back and revisit that when you get home. And you can look at your summary here. So you have your average feet per second, your standard deviation, and the date and time, all that good stuff, 3 shots, and then your shot record. Let's look at that, and it breaks it down pretty easy. I mean, this is pretty intuitive, this whole thing is. I really enjoy how this is all working out. To go back, I just hit this button here. That's my back button. So let's go select a different, let's see, the one I really wanted to look at is this one. This is my pet load for my 7 PRC. No wait, no, that's my 6 arc actually. Yeah, that's the 6 arc pet load. I have 107 Sierra Match Kings. Let's look at the shot record, and it shows me all 5 shots. Fantastic. And deviation and average between the shots, that was also tracking that, so that's really nice to have. You can see from one to the next. You can check it against the brass if you want to see, like, okay, did this brass look different? Was something a fluke or off? If you get a big deviation between 2 shots or whatever. So this is just such a great and intuitive little tool that, I mean, it's hard to imagine having lived life without it. So there we go. I mean, it's not complicated. This is a very simple little tool. You can go back and analyze your data when you get home. The battery life, I charged it up before I went out there, and it stayed on through the whole shooting session, which was about 20 minutes, and I went through multiple shot strings and stuff, and I didn't notice any battery drain. So you can actually pair this up with your phone too. There is a setting in here. Let's go to that. You can pair this bad boy up with your phone and get the app for Athlon's Rangecraft on your phone, and it will sync all the data you do in any given session to that, and you can fill out little profiles and stuff like that. I haven't done it yet. It's going to take me a little time. I got to get in the weeds with that. It's kind of complicated, but I mean, look at this is I mean, this is about as uncomplicated but as useful as it gets. Connection, oh, there it is. There's the connection button. Status, let's turn that off right now so we're not transmitting anything, and go back. You can set your color display, your brightness, backlit timer, all those good things. And I have my backlit timer set for 30 seconds. Let's drop that down to 10 seconds. Hit OK, go back. Life is good. And you can do a new session, which you can put in more data. You get your grain weight and stuff like that. In the quick start session, just how many velocity feet per second are you working within whatever range. And rifle, pistol, archery, air gun, that kind of thing. Super simple. I mean, everything about the menus on this is intuitive. It turns off quickly too, which I like. You can power it down really quick, get it back in your case, and life is good. All right, broad strokes, overall snapshot. I really enjoy this thing. I think this is a good addition to the tool set. I know I'm a little late to the party getting one of these, but man, that thing just really made life a lot easier. It's gonna cut down my ammo consumption, reloading consumption, and rate. You know, you can cut down all that stuff. The convenience is super easy. You can use it with multiple weapon systems at a time. I use it with suppressor, without, but you can use it like in any configuration for a weapon system without having to have all these goofy attachments and all these weird things you got to slap on your rifle to get it to work with something like the MagnetoSpeed. So yeah, this is long-term testing coming for this one, the Athlon Rangecraft. Not a whole lot else to say about it right off the bat, other than dang, I should have done this a few years ago. Yeah, that's it. Y'all, thank you for joining me again today. Remember to keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry, keep your magazines loaded. Y'all be blessed.